I love back squats. The reality is they're not for everybody. Here's 11 alternatives for squatting to build strength, size, and performance. The safety squat bar squat allows us to have no restriction in our shoulder mobility, which is what a lot of clients have an issue with. So now we can create our brace, keep our hands in front, get full range of motion. The barbell's still on our back, and it's a great variation to create strength, build muscle tension, and again, be in a better position. So the half field squat is again with the safety squat bar, but now we have some type of support. We can have handles, and at that bottom range where we're the weakest, we can help ourselves a little bit. Again, if you have really tight hips and mobility, it can help us stay more upright. And we can drive a lot of tension, get the support where we need it. But again, it's going to really work our muscles and keep that squat safer. The front squat variation is phenomenal because it switches the load up in front, allow us to be a little bit more upright for people that may have like a very hingy squat. Now there's a couple of variations that you can do this as far as setup goes. You can have the clean variation, by the way, which if you're restricted in your wrist mobility and your shoulder mobility, this is going to be more challenging. You can have the Frankenstein, which I'm bringing the arms out straight and then crossing over, which is my preferred method. And this is where I'm going to go. Staying upright, knees forward, butt drops down. And the third variation, even if that's challenging for you, we'll put straps onto the barbell where we can hold on to these straps and then pull ourselves down into the bottom position. Elevated dumbbell squat is great as we can really get our full range of motion. And you can see how I'm stretching the quads there at the bottom position. My spine is upright, driving out of the bottom. I don't need nearly as much load, but this is challenging, it's safe. Again, for most people, you can keep your spine very upright and becomes a great variation. This is another very accessible one that I love. It's heels elevated double kettlebell squats, where we're gonna stay upright again, driving those knees forward, butt goes down. Because we have the wedges, it allows us to stay more upright and more vertical. We can still load it pretty heavy. The thing with kettlebells is you're gonna really work your core and upper back. That might be a limiting factor, but most of the time, our clients can really work their legs hard with this variation. So this is the goblet squat tempo method, and I like using dumbbells because we can really load the hell out of it. We go up to 120, even more pounds on this, and I'm gonna control the tempo, right? I got wedges again because it allows me to stay more upright, but I can go, for instance, a 3 down, 3 up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, so again, depending on what our goal is, we can use eccentrics, we can use the tempo method, but this is another great example of what we can use for squats for clients. So this is a staggered stance, B stance, and we can use it for any one of the barbells, the variations, where I'm going to stagger my stance. And I like to keep what I call this octopus foot. I'm not heavy on my right leg. I try to have an 80-20 shift of force, and I'm really gonna load that left leg as I go down deep into that position. Right, so I'm barely using this right leg. I can get deep range, and again, I'm shifting. I still have enough support, but majority of that tension is going to left leg. I could use a double kettlebell for this, a barbell, any of the variations in that B stance position. We don't need as much load to get a lot of tension on them. So this is where certain machines come into play that are phenomenal. The belt squat, again, is no axial load directly on my spine. It's around my hips. I can use the handles to stay more upright. Go down, full range of motion, drive back up. I really like the bands here too because it becomes more tension towards the top, less tension at the bottom. Makes us control that rep. And this is a great variation for a lot of people that cannot load their spine top down, but this feels good for them. Currently, my favorite squat variation, or should I say machine, is the pendulum squat. What it allows is, again, very low or no back stress, but completely lights up your quads and allows you to go to deep range of motion. So depending on your anatomy, I'm gonna get my foot stance coming all the way down, and you can see I still have support here on my back onto the pad, driving out. I get a big range of motion. Depending on where I place my feet, I can make it a little bit more quad dominant or take the glutes on for a ride a little bit more as well. Pendulum squat. And this is, you've probably seen it as the hack squat. Again, another pattern of squatting but because we have a little bit of a different angle, I'm gonna find my foot stance, pull myself down. I have support and stability, so now I can create more force, get more range of motion, and train that squat pattern. I'm sure there's missed a bunch, but those are 11 alternatives for a back squat that can really help you build muscle, build strength, improve your performance, and most times for most people, help with their joints. So if you want more tips to look, feel, and perform better, make sure you follow this channel.